take things on you.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to WWTA News. Thank you again for joining us. As normal, we've got more stuff to talk about. We got some news articles we're going to go through. But before we get into that, can I get you to hit that like button if you already haven't done so? And if you have any family, friends, or loved ones who you think could use this information, feel free to share it with them via link so that they can see this as well. Now, we're going to start off with our first story. It says, as Terra dies and forks, protocols and projects move to Polygon. So we know Terra's having some issues, and with Terra's issues going on, a lot of things are having to move. And so if you're not familiar with Polygon, Polygon was major in helping move things on the Ethereum network when there wasn't a lot doing it. So Polygon hooked up with Matic. It became Polygon Matic. And so forth. Great things came from it. So just to be on your radar, that's what's going on. So the article says, Polygon Studios CEO Brian Wyatt shared via Twitter yesterday that Polygon, a sidechain built to complement and help scale Ethereum, is launching a multi-million-dollar fund called the Terra Developer Fund to help Terra projects move from Do Kwon's now infamous and failed blockchain onto Polygon, right? So we can't help what happened. It happened. And so we're going to see a lot of things moving on the Polygon, which is going to need to, charge. We've got an article here that says JP Morgan is using blockchain for collateral settlement. Transactions involved BlackRock assets. In a pilot blockchain transaction, JP Morgan Chase and Company transferred tokenized money market fund shares, a type of mutual fund, as collateral on Friday, May 20th. The transaction involved assets from BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. BlackRock was not directly involved in the transaction as a counterparty. However, BlackRock has been heavily involved since day one and is still exploring blockchain technology, according to Ben Chalice, JP Morgan's global head of trading services. What is BlackRock not doing? I mean, they're in everything, right? Anybody keeping up with this? Well, here's more for BlackRock. They are everywhere and they're in everything. So again, like I like to say, if you aren't in this space and you feel like this space is going to be a waste of time, well, you explain that to the corporations and the institutions that are involved in this space, because they're there and they're growing their value in this space because they're preparing to use this technology on all of us, and we're just dum-dums that are not paying attention. This article goes on to say the innovation will allow investors to use a wider variety of assets as collateral and carry out transactions outside of market hours. Right. So, hey man, we talk about that stock market, right? It times out. You can't get it on the weekends and certain hours. At the end of the day, closing bell, you ain't getting in there and before. So I still think we're going to see the stock market come onto the blockchain, which means that, my personal opinion, my understanding that they're going to more than likely have to sell off their shares from the stock market and then buy the blockchain version. It's coming. I definitely believe it's coming. But let's get that again. The innovation will allow investors to use a wider variety of assets as collateral and carry out transactions outside of market hours. Chalice noted that the transaction accomplished a frictionless transfer of collateral assets on an instantaneous basis. JP Morgan also plans to expand tokenized collateral to include equities and fixed income, according to today's report. I mean, institutions aren't playing around with this technology. And if you are not in this space, it's like institutions are in this space. And we're about to see the next couple $1 trillion come into the space from institutions. And there's going to be a great increase in value. And if you did not take this time to get on board, you will find yourself left out, trying to pick up the little bits you can to get into space. So I'm just saying, wow. Let's continue. We got an article here that says Shiba can now be accepted by merchants thanks to new partnership. Well, that's awesome. Day by day, Shiba Inu pleases its fans with announcements of new partnerships and increasing number of ways to use the much-loved meme coin. It became known that the popular payment platform for merchants, Now Payments, in collaboration with crypto accepting and withdrawing service Switchier, will allow its users to process payments in Shiba. The scheme is simple. Buyers pay the scheme. Ooh, the scheme, right? Is simple. Buyers pay in SHIB. Sellers get fiat at the output. Thus, SHIB fans and holders will now be able to pay in stores that are linked to Now Payments and buy more goods without converting their coins into fiat. Yeah, so Now Payments is just basically the exchange. It's the middleman. And so when you go through that, the stores are connected and you connect to it, you're basically both connected to a transaction. The transaction is going to exchange out this and send it over. So, you know, if there's a payment of XYZ, it appears to me, and I could be wrong, but it appears to me that Now Payments is the middleman that's making all that happen. No different than what Visa does, in a sense, with banks to point of sales machines or vendors. So there's nothing new under the sun. We're just going to a more digital and because it's a more digital version, it just means every transaction is going to be recorded via the blockchain. And so there are no, we don't know the transaction. We're going to know the transaction because even though Now Payments is a middleman, KYC is going to exist for them as well. That's how they have to operate. And so every transaction that you do for whatever store as you're going through Now Payments, the records are kept, the exchange from you to them, and then from them exchanging from there to the store or vendor or point of sales machine. So I mean, is it really, I mean, you know, we're already involved in this right now, but you're just seeing it now go into the digital asset side, which is just how the new system's going to run, and it's going to be more efficient and more effective. So again, if you haven't gotten on board, I see there's more institutions coming on board. You know, institutions will be using this technology. You will be too. You're just going to be behind everybody else that were like, yo, let me jump on board now. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be using it regardless anyway. It goes on to say, a fresh partnership adds great utility to the popular meme coin thanks to Now Payments. The arsenal of SHIB usage is expanding in areas such as e-commerce, casinos, and gambling, and regular mass retail shopping. And even donations on Twitch can now be sent using Shiba Inu. Awesome news, right? We got a tweet here from UN Federal Reserve. We're proud to announce we've entered into a collaboration agreement with Next Bank International Incorporated, a wholly owned subsidiary of Next Play Technologies Incorporated on the NASDAQ NXTP, to create a U.S. safe harbor on the blockchain. Look at that. So, I mean, everybody's a little scary about the UN Federal Reserve asset, coin, cash, whatever you like to call it. I'm not too concerned about it. I do think that, you know, we're going to see more and more, again, institutions coming on board. And, you know, if you go back to the past video where it was seen in another article that the next couple trillion was coming in from institutions, well, I mean, do I need to go back to that article? Because right here, you've seen, what, 2 or 3 articles now that's showing you more institutions getting involved. Well, more institutions are getting involved, and so that's where the next few trillion are going to come from. And for those of you who are already in the space and holding, get more in your bags. All right, do what you do. You know what to do. Get more. For those of you who might not have money, find out where to get some money. If you can't get any money, hold on to what you got. Get through this time. You know, not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm no one's fool. I'm not. So take that information and do what you got to do with it. We've got an article here that says Algorand's funds Flex ID to offer Africa's unbanked self-sovereign IDs. This funding deals under Algorand's impact category, which picked out Flex ID as a catalyst for global financial inclusion. Algorand, a proof-of-stake blockchain protocol, has invested an undisclosed amount in Flex ID to expand its self-sovereign identity SSI platform, according to an announcement. Now, Don't forget Algorand operates on a version of what? The XRP network, right? So that instantaneous transaction and information stuff is just, it's going to be cost effective, cost friendly, and efficient. So that would definitely be why. So I'm literally outside taking time to make these videos, and for some reason I'm outside, all the bugs want to come and, you know, take a chomp out of me, like bite, 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 bite. But I love outside and I love nature, so we're just going to get it. All right, let's continue with the article. Flex ID is a digital identity platform that aims to avail its decentralized digital identity network in emerging markets. In doing so, the firm hopes to help over 1 billion people that lack formal identification. Notably, this is Flex ID's first funding deal. So we heard Christine Lagarde and Christiana talking about how a lot of nations did not have banking. They were unbanked. They didn't have a lot of things to bring them to the level of the rest of the world. And so some of the major things they were doing, especially in Africa, obviously, this is why we're reading this article, right? They were working hard on bringing them into that generation of technology, getting devices in everybody's hands, the technology, and getting it so they can pretty much bank themselves. So, hey, man, that's what we're seeing, right? So institutions, right? Institutions getting involved. So it says, founded by Zimbabwean serial technology entrepreneur Victor Mapunga, Flex ID seeks to alleviate financial exclusion. Financial exclusion, right? That's what Lagarde and Christiana were talking about. So it says Mapunga created the platform out of frustrations with the banking system, the underbanked, excluding individuals without identity documents. The Algorand funding comes under the impact category, identifying Flex ID as a catalyst for global financial inclusion. Specifically, Flex ID intends to start by helping 400 million Africans who cannot access banking services because they lack identity documents. Coming to a nation or a country near you before you can even see it coming, it will be there. These are the testing grounds as they get these things up and running. So this is just a new system. Just you know, be ready for it. So that's all I got. Hope you all got something out of this video that was useful. You can hit that like button if you already haven't. And if you have any family, friends, or loved ones who you believe could use this information to help get them into space, please share the video with them. And I will catch you all in the next one.